Welcome. Just got a quick video unboxing the Anycubic Photon P1. Recently purchased this off the website, the Australian based one. So I didn't purchase this through the Kickstarter, but not long after that I've ordered this one and it's here now. I thought I'd share opening it and see what's involved. All pretty standard sort of packaging, nothing too exciting here. All the usual stuff you get with Anycubic printers. Power cord, some filters, scraper, gloves, the pretty standard sort of pack that they give you. Always plenty of packing foam with these. Alright, so it looks like the trick for these is to stand them up and pull them out. Pretty straightforward getting it out that way. You don't really want to try to lift it out, that's a bit awkward. And yeah, so this is technically a production run, so no pre-orders or anything. This is what you get. Plenty of packing on it. So far everything looks good. I'll just keep unwrapping it. Our first impressions, pretty tidy looking machine. I have come from a history of photon machines. I started with the Photon Mono X, and then I got the M3 Plus, and then I had two M5s Pros, and they're the reason I've gone to this one, because they've actually started to let me down a bit. I've skipped the M7 range. Hopefully the P1's a nice jump up and will do the job and everything I need. So we'll have a look here. Very nice firm feeling sort of lid, kind of stays wherever you leave it, so it doesn't feel like I'm going to slam it on anything, which is nice. More foam. Peel that one out. I'm going to do this. What have we got here? Bit of weight there. I reckon there's something inside that. I have not gone for the two bed option. I've also got the M4 Ultra, which is a pretty small printer, so I figured anything that I want to do that's small or like unique sort of or expensive resins, I'll just use that machine. I don't plan on using any of the thicker engineering sort of resins, so if that ever does become a thing, I might look into getting the dual bed. In here we have the build plate. Much heavier than any of the alley ones from the previous printers. This one's stainless steel, where the previous ones have all been aluminium. The one thing I have seen a bit is that it is flat on top, so a lot of resin does pool on there. They do give you a way in here. It even shows you on here how it's supposed to sit. You can rest it in there. So hopefully that comes in helpful. I do have some bigger prints that won't fit there, if I'm still got the print on there, but I'm sure I'll find a way to make it all work for me. Nothing else there, but I'll keep it separate. Yeah, it looks all pretty straightforward. I think I might give it some power and I'll see what I've got going on here. One thing that is different with this printer from previous ones is the power brick no longer exists. It's all inside. So it's all just power straight into there. There is an exhaust vent, which I will be plumbing in with something later on. Very interested to see how the vat and everything goes in this printer. That's all powered up. There is a power button and USB on the side here. I do believe it takes a second or two to power on. There we go. I'll just readjust the camera here and give you a look at the screen. All looks pretty straightforward there. Obviously I want some English. Global. Initial setup. Let's do that. So it should be lifting the Z-axis shortly. That's moving up now all by itself. Might just readjust here again. So it's pretty straightforward. Z homing completed. I'm assuming there must be switches at the top so it knows when the Z is at its maximum height as well. Otherwise I wouldn't really call that homing. So install the print platform. I'll just get this out of here. So that just slides on there, all the way back. Lock the top down. Very nice. So far everything's looking pretty good. Install print platform, continue. Install resin vat, that's already installed. I will remove it and take off all the extra protective layers. While I got this off, the vat certainly does look a bit bigger than the previous one, the M5s Pro. Pretty keen to see how the heating goes with it. I'm glad that they've done that. I wasn't really keen on ever getting a printer that's got the any sort of resin pump or anything like that, so this is good. Remove that one. This the textured screen down here is very interesting. I do hope that does help with some peel force sort of issues that I have had previously with some bigger prints. Very keen to see how it goes. A little concerned with whether or not that's a replaceable film or if you can get like a screen protector. So we will see what happens there. I have ordered screen protectors that should have come with it, but they're still on their way. Curious to see if they're actually the textured part or not. But once they get here, I'll have a look and I'll let you know. Yeah, once you get that in there, it snaps in pretty nicely. Nothing's going anywhere. It's got a massive pour spout on it, which will sort of limit the amount of resin you can put in there, but I still think it's going to hold plenty. I do have to keep an eye on the max line there. It looks pretty level with the overflow line. So don't fill it up unless the vat's down, the build plate's down. Interesting, we'll see what happens next. We'll continue. The touch screen, let's just flick through some menus here. So we've got the home screen. It's just telling me I'm in single mode. I'm assuming that's where I can change it to the dual mode. I didn't get that. Don't think I'll need it for a little while. No files on here. Nothing on the USB. I haven't connected it yet. Video analog, so it does have a camera, which is, well, yeah, the camera's here. It's got a little cover on it at the minute. So we'll see what that does. That'll be nice for some remote monitoring. These printers do run quite a bit for me when I'm not here, so it'd be good to check up on them and cancel them and not waste too much resin if something's gone wrong. Other settings, we've just got general home settings, the exposure tests, clear ups. This is to clean your vat if you do have failure or some bits have stuck to the bottom. So we do have the resin control, auto heating. So we're currently set to 25 degrees. See how that goes. There's not much resin in there at the minute. The build plate's currently coming down. I'll show you that one. Not sure if it's coming down to mix it or something. So we'll see what happens. Keep an eye on him. Looks like it's going to keep going up and down and potentially mix the resin around a bit to get some nice even heating. So here it says heating, it says it's completed. So something's found some temperature. Touching it, the vat is actually warm. Can feel that it has heated up. Pretty keen on that because keeping resin at temperature can be a struggle for me at times. So I've completed heating. Self-check, force detection, camera detection, wireless LAN, image display, assisted leveling module. So these are checks that it will do throughout the print, I believe, and it will check these when it starts up. Resin calibration is on here now. Okay. That may need the RERF files for that. Assisted leveling. It's supposed to come pre-leveled from the factory. Assisted leveling, I think it will tell you what you need to adjust. So there's screws, 4 screws. Got 4 screws on top there. From screenshots that I've seen, it will tell you which ones to tighten and how much and all the rest of it. I'll put in the USB that come with it and see if there's a file on there. So once again we get the little red USB. Get it right one day. And then device status. So we've done, I'm assuming, number of prints. Could be hours. How many hours the screen's done, how many hours the LED panel, which would be the light, the UV light inside, and how many layers it's printed. So it'll be interesting to see them numbers climb up rapidly. So I'm connected to Wi-Fi, but not the app. I haven't got anything currently sliced for this, so I don't have anything for that. Just tells me some other stuff there. I'll hide that. Version, so currently version 5.0.6.7. I'll check online shortly and see if there is an update for it, but that's the one I've got, shipped middle of February 2026. Sound, I'm guessing that's the when you're touching the screen. English, storage repair, it'd be just a local format. I'm guessing we're going to have local, so we've got 7 gig on board, and it says 3.7 gig on the USB. Guide, it's got some instructions there for us, probably similar to the startup. Device name, so I probably should be able to change, nope, can't change that one. Tells us my storage, print times, Yep, factory reset, don't need to do that. And device ID, that's just unique to this, so it connects with the app. And then about, so Photon P1, 4.5 inches. I assume that's the screen I'm looking at. Then release, and then some other information. So everything's looking pretty straightforward. The touchscreen is very nice to use. Now we can go USB. Actually, I want to try if we go clear other Resin Calibration. It's found a file on the USB. So we have the RERF on here, which is good. Tells you how many grams of resin you'll need and how long it'll go for. I've always seen the time, never really noticed the grams on there before. And then we'll go back here, see what else we got we can potentially print. Test PP1, drip bracket, funnel. I don't want something that'll go for too long, I want to see it work. Alright, that's all we got. 4 files. We've got a drip bracket. If I enter it, not quite sure where that one goes. How long is that? Hour and 47. Okay, I just noticed something else. So when you go print, it says print and save to storage. So it will copy it off the USB to the local storage to avoid any USBs getting knocked or failing mid-print. Have had that happen with the Mono X and the M3 Plus back in the day before the cloud connection was a lot better. More often than not I do use it via the cloud and the app, so I'll have to upgrade the Photon Workshop to work with this printer. I think that's about it. Curious to what the drip bracket is. Well, we could do the RERF. Which file have they got in there? Okay, so he wants me to open it in actual Resin Calibration to print. Maybe not. Okay, so it's telling me you can change the actual time per square now. So 8's currently at 2.75, so we could change that to 3. Yeah, it's at 3. So we have control over what individual exposure time we have now, which is very good because it used to be just an offset from the standard one that you sliced with. So we can do some testing. We'll go back. It's 38 minutes. I think I might do that one and see how it goes. Already noticing the first thing. That's just from lifting up the very first time. I'm getting a lot of resin splash on the back of the unit. Something I've never really had to worry about before. If there's any resin anywhere, it's usually my fault because I've spilt it. I've actually never had that before. I wonder if that's due to the fact that it's the flat top and it might hold a bit more for a bit longer, so there's more resin dripping when it gets to a higher point, whereas before it used to run off a lot quicker because it had the sloped sides. I will wipe that up. I've cleaned up those resin splashes for now. It's not something that I've ever noticed before with any of the other printers. But I certainly want to try to look after it and keep it all nice and clean. I will be wrapping the printer in some sort of vinyl, just a cheap masking vinyl or something for the most part to try to look after it. I've had the poor old M5 Pros being the plastic, got a bit of resin spilled on them a few times, and the resin actually will melt the plastic. So that's not ideal. Just to compare the two, this is the old workhorse. That's the M5s Pro. Currently got no screen in it. It did the LCD screen in. I bought a replacement, but that died. and a bit of testing with another printer that I've got. I think the main board's dead on this one, so she's getting replaced. It is wrapped up in tape. I do have a vinyl cover for it. It's just to stop the spillages and that. These do print a lot. Just helped them, because these being a plastic body, any resin that spilled on them would actually start to melt the plastic, and it certainly affected it, and it was just a pain to keep clean. So this one's probably going to get something a bit more elegant than blue masking tape, but certainly going to cover it up, try to keep everything as clean as possible and easy to wipe down. Fingers crossed there is a screen protector that works, or that textured surface is actually the screen protector. It's probably a bit hard to tell, but that's the old build plate size. The new one's definitely a lot deeper. There's a lot more depth on that one. So pretty keen to give these things a good workout. But it takes up a lot more bench space. But having these with a heated vat's definitely a win. I did run these in basically a cupboard that was heated to keep the resin at a good constant temperature. It was very obvious with fluctuations in temperature what that does to the resin, I have found. So this one's getting retired. This one's going to take over. Fingers crossed it does everything I need it to do and more. Should be some better quality, a bit more robust. It does have a ball screw now as opposed to the lead screw. So pretty excited to keep it working. I'll make updates as I go with any modifications or anything I find with it. So far so good. I have had pretty good success with Anycubic stuff, but unfortunately the end of life does come around pretty quick. So that's a couple years old now and I can't get any parts for it that are worth buying. So that led me to buying the new machine. Probably will stock up now while they're available. I will actually get some spare LCDs for it. I will try to make this one last me as long as I need it to until the next upgrade. But leave it with me and I'll get back and keep you updated on any other modifications that I make.